Good afternoon, everyone, especially to my co-reporters. Let me introduce you to our midterm topic, the physical self, heredity, and environment. Heredity and environment are important in the life of an individual. Both are determinants of development. It means both are very important in the life of individual. Heredity gives us the body, structure, complexion, or features, etc. And the environment provides the opportunities to develop them. So, as humans, we are subjected to a variety of influences and causes during our development, which may be hereditary or environmental in nature. So, our objective, as we proceed through this hour, we will be able to learn more about this topic during this session. What effect does heredity and environment have on the physical self? So, what exactly is heredity? Heredity is the passing of traits from parents to offspring, while environment is the totality of our surroundings, like our family, where we grow up, where we actually live, and all of our experiences. Like our attitude, it could be hereditary or influenced by the environment.
Dominant and recessive gene. So each one of us can receive two versions of genes that comes from our parents, which is known as alleles. So how can you tell if an allele of a gene is dominant? It is when it overrules the other allele, which is also known as recessive. Dominant is always expressed when present. On the other hand, recessive is only expressed when no dominant genes are present. An example of dominant and recessive genes are our eye, hair color, and blood groups. So, let's say the allele for brown eyes is dominant over the allele for blue eyes. In that case, if you have one allele for brown eyes and one for blue eyes, the result is brown eyes, since that is the dominant. But there is a situation that you have two alleles for brown eyes. However, if both alleles are for the recessive trait, you will likely get blue eyes.
Physical growth, development, and maturation. Physical growth is focusing on the increased size or body mass from an increase in already formed body parts. So, for me, physical growth refers to the increase in height and weight and our other body parts changes that happen as kids mature. Hair grows, teeth come in and come out and come back again. And eventually, puberty hits. It's all part of the growing process.
Physical development and maturation. Maturation is the development of individual and behavioral characteristics through growth process over time. For me, maturation is the process of becoming mature or the emergence of individual and behavioral characteristics. It is the process of reaching a stage of full or advanced development. In other words, maturation is when an individual is reaching maturity. It refers to the person developing physically or starting to act more grown up. For example, when you began to think of things critically compared before, and for example, if it is when you will be acting like a grown up or like an adult.
Physical environmental factors. Physical environmental factors contributing to mental illness are those that have the power to affect a person's biology or neurochemistry, thereby increasing their chances of developing a disorder. For example, if a person lacks access to health-related resources such as wool, nutrition, rich food, and detain to eat more processed and refined foods. Their body and brain would not function optimally. As a result, if they encounter a major stressor, they may not have the resources to effectively cope. In addition to poor nutrition, some other examples of physical environmental factors are: number 1, sleep deprivation. Number 2, smoking. Number 3, substance abuse. Number 4, pollution. Number 5, exposure to toxins during childhood. Number 6, extreme weather conditions such as excessive rain or snow. Number 7, hazardous conditions at work. This is my explanation. First, sleep deprivation. Sleep deprivation means you're not getting enough sleep. For most adults, the amount of sleep needed for best health is 7 to 8 hours each night. When you get less sleep than that, as many people do it can eventually lead to many health problems. Sleep deprivation leaves your brain exhausted so it cannot perform its duties as well. You may also find it more difficult to concentrate or learn new things. The signals of your body send may also be delayed, decreasing your coordination and increasing your risk for accidents. Second, smoking. The nicotine and carbon monoxide from smoking make your blood sticky and your arteries may become narrow. Narrow arteries reduce the flow of blood to your heart muscles and other body organs, making exercise harder. During exercise, blood flow helps boost oxygen supply to your muscles. Third, substance abuse. Drug abuse is one of the drug affect your body's central nervous system. They affect how you think, feel, and behave. The three main types are depressants, hallucinogens, and stimulants. Depressants slow or depress the function of the central nervous system. Hallucinogens distort your sense of reality. You may see or hear things that are not really there, or see things in a distorted way. Stimulants speed or stimulate the central nervous system. They speed up messaging to and from the brain, making you feel more alert and confident. This can cause increased heart rate, blood pressure, and body temperature, reduce appetite, agitation, and sleeplessness. Fourth, pollution. Air pollutions appear to cause or contribute to a variety of health conditions. The effects of air pollution on a person's health can range from mild breathing difficulties to severe cardiovascular issues, including heart disease and stroke. Fifth, exposure to toxins during childhood. Exposure to toxins before birth or early in life can have a devastating and lifelong effect on the developing architecture of the brain. Early experiences affect the development of brain architecture, which provides the foundation for all future learning, behavior, and health. 6. Extreme weather conditions such as excessive rain or snow. The health effects of these disruptions include increased respiratory and cardiovascular disease, injuries and premature deaths related to extreme weather events, changes in the prevalence and geographical distribution of food and water-borne illness and other infectious disease, and threats to mental health. Lastly, hazardous conditions at work, excessive energy exposure can cause pain and injury. If exposure occurs day after day, we may develop a disease and possibly a disability. Physical hazards include exposure to slips, trips, falls, electricity, noise, vibration, radiation, heat, cold, and fire.
First of all, people have great need and protection and security. Kailangan yun na to, need yun na to nga protection na natong lawas o seguridad. And they seek such as qualities in their surroundings Physical comfort such as comfortable temperature is equally important to us. Furthermore, we prepare a psychologically comfortable setting such as one of the that is familiar yet provides just the appropriate amount of stimulation. Humans have required to be sensitive to their surroundings to live from the beginning of time, which means we have an intrinsic awareness of our surroundings and seek out places with certain traits. Harmful, harmful chemicals such as air pollution, smoking, nagarilyo, sleep deprivation, walay tulog-tulog, uh, substances abuse, pag-abuso sa tambal, o daghang pang uban are essential barriers in the physical environment for our health. Dako gyud na siya apekto sa atong health. Access to hazardous location, the subject of conventional environmental epidemiology, community design and built environment, and access to different health-related services. Healthy or unhealthy meals, recreational opportunities, medical treatment, land use mix, street connectivity, transportation systems, land, air, water, plants, and animals, buildings, and other infrastructure, and all natural resources that support our fundamental necessities and potential for social and economic growth are all part of the physical environment. It is critical for people's bodily and mental well-being to live in a clean, healthy environment. At a fundamental level, things like clean air and adequate drinking water are very important.
Physical self. Psychological self is a concrete dimension of the person that can be directly observed and examined. According to William James, considered body as the initial source of sensation and necessary of the origin and maintenance of personality. The issue has found a place in various schools of psychology like psychoanalysis, behaviorism, humanism, and etc. In a psychoanalytical school, Sigmund Freud said construction of self and personality makes the physical body the core of human experience. For Wilhelm Reich, the freeing of black bioenergy is the chief task of psychotherapy. Wilhelm Reich argued that mind and body are one. All psychological processes, he postulated, are part of physical processes and vice versa. Next is Erik Erikson. He believes that experience is anchored in the ground plane of body. According to him, the role of bodily organs is especially important in early developmental stages of a person's life. Erikson is aware of constant interaction of body, psychological processes, and social forces. He acknowledged the classical Freudian view of fundamental biological drives but insists that these drives are socially modifiable. Jung argued physical processes are relevant to us only to extent they are representative in the psyche. Thank you.
Self-concept. Self-concept is how you perceive your behavior, abilities, and unique characteristics. Self-concept tends to be more malleable when you are younger and still going through the process of self-discovery and identity formation. As you age and learn who you are and what important to you, this self-perception becomes much more detailed and organized. Its more basic concept is a collection of beliefs one holds about oneself and the responses of others. It embodies the answer of the question, who am I? There are three components of self-concept, and the three components are ideal self, self-image, and self-esteem. Your self concept is how you see yourself, your strength, and your distinguishing qualities. For example, beliefs such as I am a good friend or I am a kind person are part of overall self concept. This self perception grows considerably more complex and structured as you get older and learn more about who you are and what matters to you. The three components of self concept are ideal self, the person you want to be, self image, how you see yourself, including attributes like your physical characteristic, personality, traits, and social rules, self esteem, how much you like, accept, or value yourself, which can impact by a number of factors, including how others see you, how you think you compare to others, and your role in society.
So, to conclude, both hereditary and environmental influence can have an impact on a person's personality. The limitation is set by hereditary and environmental variables determine their final result. Genetic variables, on the other hand, have a greater influence on personality traits. Thank you.